The pains of the past are still felt in the present, and nobody feels that pain like many black farmers in the South, especially when it comes to proving they own land passed down from one generation to the next.
Yeah, there's a term for that. It's called heirs property. As Caresse Jackman explains, a new government program is trying to help untangle the problems surrounding it all.
So if you're wondering what is heirs property, this is pretty much how it works. Say your grandfather and grandmother have 10 kids. And your grandfather dies without a will. Well, then the 10 kids have to figure out what's going to happen with that property. And they have to do it without documentation. Documentation that not only proves that they own the land, but can get them access to loans and credit. Now, this new program aims to help families get that documentation and financial support, allowing their farms to prosper for generations to come.
Carolina Reapers, ghost chilies.
Walk around Reggie Marshall's 2.6-acre farm, you'll see all sorts of herbs and spices. And animals like Henry the turkey.
He's such a good protector of the chickens.
Growing up in West Tennessee, farming runs through Marshall's veins.
My parents experienced it when they were kids, their parents experienced it, I experienced it, and when my kids came along, they got to experience the same freedom.
Freedom that wasn't always there for black farmers in the South. To explain this, we've got to go back in time. When African Americans got their freedom after the Civil War, they were finally able to obtain land, but not without obstacles. Look at this. This USDA report from 2019 admits black farmers were discriminated against by their own agency. And experts say black farmers were not given the privilege of knowing how wills work and their property would be lost. Problems Marshall says he hears from black farmers to this day.
I've heard stories of guys walking into offices and ask for simple things, and they're being told, well, that program doesn't exist.
It's why he's glad to hear about a new program from the Biden administration aimed at helping heirs resolve those land ownership and succession issues.
The goal of the program is to provide the financial tools that producers need to do the legal work, to do what's going to almost be a recruitment process amongst the heirs to try to get an offer on the table to those heirs.
Through the program, heirs can apply directly to lenders for loans and assistance.
So it's really going to be a farmer-based initiative and a community-based organization initiative. We're going to provide the financing for it.
Financing, he hopes, earns a trust amongst generations of black farmers who face discrimination.
I would like to tell those farmers that the Farm Service Agency and the United States Department of Agriculture, under the leadership of Secretary Vilsack and President Biden, is no longer in denial about our history of treatment of these groups.
John Boyd with the National Black Farmers Association says the USDA needs to take it a step further by providing better access to credit.
Bank lending from the top 10 banks to black farmers has to be improved in order for black farmers in the state of Tennessee to stay on their farm and hold on to their farm and pass on generational wealth to the next generation of black farmers. And that's what this whole fight is about.
It's a sentiment Marshall agrees with, even though he knows decades of previous discriminatory practices may make some skeptical.
They're going to have to really focus on success stories because that's going to help draw other people in. And history creates skepticism. And if you can take success stories that you have and move the program forward with that, I think that would be most beneficial.
I'm Caresse Jackman, News 4 Nashville.
Now, according to the USDA, in 1910, African Americans had almost 16 million acres of land in full ownership. By 2017, that number dropped to 3.9 million acres. Marshall now makes it his mission to encourage the next generation to get into farming. And if you'd like more information on the heirs property relending program, head to our website, WSMV.com.